Welcome to Spotlight in Bensenville. My name is Frank DeSimone, Village President and your host for this episode. Today we'll be discussing the municipal electric aggregation with our guest, Sharon Durling, Director of Marketing for Northern Illinois Municipal Electric Collaborative. Welcome to the show, Sharon. How are you?
Great, Mayor. Thanks for inviting me.
So let's jump in. What is the electric aggregate?
Well, it's a process in which the village goes out to bid on behalf of residents and small businesses with the idea to get best rates or benefits and terms, kind of like wholesale versus retail buying. You can typically do better as a group.
So are we the only community that does this, or do other Illinois communities follow?
You are not. There are about 800 municipal bodies from townships, counties, and cities and villages in Illinois that do this. And in fact, Governor Quinn signed into law in 2009 the ability for municipalities to do this. So your residents in Bensenville actually voted in the November 2012 election to enable the board to do this for them.
I guess the million-dollar question is will the residents' rates go up and will their bills change at all?
So no, rates will not go up. In this program, they'll pay exactly the ComEd rate, and they'll continue to receive the same ComEd bill with a red logo, and the name Eligo will be on the back. So nothing changes in terms of billing.
So how does the program benefit the residents?
Well, it does bring 100% renewable energy at zero added cost. So the village of Bensenville a year ago became an EPA green power partner through this program. Also, it enables the village to be eligible for a small civic contribution. And you might say it at least enables some bit of funding that you don't have to otherwise try to find through some new fees or taxes to residents. That's always good.
Where does the green energy come from and how does it work? And is it truly renewable?
Yes, it's actually generated from things like wind farms here located in the Midwest, hydro plants, solar plants. And when renewable or green energy is generated, at the same time, a certificate sort of certifying, well, that's replicative, but a certificate is generated. It has a serial number and it's audited. So the EPA that has oversight over this says, when you own the REC, you own the green power. So it's real renewable energy that goes into the same system that serves Bensenville.
Are there any risks or negatives to the program? Any additional fees?
Well, there's no downside to the program in terms of rate. There's never any risk of paying a penny more than ComEd. There's no early termination fees.
So some of the residents received an opt-out notice and others receive informative only notices. What is the difference between those two notices?
Well, the net effect is identical for all. About half the community is enrolled with this new supplier, Eligo Energy, which is based here in Chicago, by the way, and the other half at ComEd. It's based on meter usage and certain demand during peak periods, but back to the net effect is identical for everyone. Everyone would pay the same rate. Everyone can claim to have 100% renewable or green energy generation.
A lot of the comments that I've been hearing is, hey, I already have ComEd, so why would I change? What should I do? What advice do we have for that?
Well, the good news is, in effect, you'll still have ComEd because by law, ComEd does all the billing and they're responsible for the wiring and networking systems that serve your home. So essentially, you're still with ComEd, but 100% green power isn't available through ComEd's supply. So it's just the supply that you're getting that's different.
Okay, I have a bunch more questions. We just have to take a break. You have a few more minutes with us?
I do. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
You probably know about the benefits of green power or renewable electricity produced by sources such as wind or the sun. Renewable electricity produces no fossil fuel-based greenhouse gas emissions or other air pollutants. That makes it cleaner than electricity that comes from burning coal or natural gas. But if you don't have your own wind turbine or solar panels, how can you use renewable electricity? With renewable energy certificates, also known as RECs, you can purchase renewable power and help the renewable energy market to grow. To understand how RECs work, it helps to understand how electricity is generated and delivered. From fossil fuel-based power plants to wind farms, every power generator produces electricity. This electricity travels to you through a network of transmission and distribution wires, which we call the electric power grid. Electricity from many different sources mixes together in the grid. There's no way to distinguish the exact source that your electricity came from. So how can a consumer like you know that the power you're using is from renewable resources? That's where renewable energy certificates come in. Each REC represents a specific amount of electricity produced and delivered to the power grid by a renewable resource, such as wind or solar. Let's take a wind turbine, for example. For every megawatt hour of electricity it produces, the turbine's owner generates a REC that they can either keep or sell. If you buy the REC, you are now the owner of that green power. RECs allow you to claim that the electricity you use came from a renewable resource with low or zero emissions. In fact, anytime someone claims to use renewable electricity, RECs are involved. Even if you produce your own renewable power on site, you're generating your own RECs. RECs are part of every renewable energy purchase, and they're a credible way to buy and sell renewable electricity because RECs can be uniquely numbered and tracked. Just like an online bank account that keeps track of your electronic banking transactions, anytime a REC is sold, there are systems that track and record it. Once you buy a REC and say that you're using green power, the REC can no longer be sold or used by someone else. The REC can be retired in the tracking system to prevent someone else from claiming it. EPA recommends buying RECs that are certified and verified. This ensures that your green power was generated by a quality renewable resource and what you bought was actually produced. Why are RECs so important? Because they are the currency of the renewable energy market. They allow people and organizations to choose cleaner sources of energy and reduce their carbon footprints. RECs give you the flexibility to support renewable energy even if you can't generate it yourself, or if your local utility doesn't offer a green power product. If RECs did not exist, it would be difficult to say for sure that you're using renewable electricity. In today's electricity market, RECs really do make a difference. By buying RECs, you're providing revenue to support renewable energy projects. When enough people buy RECs, these purchases promote growth in the green power marketplace and help to avoid greenhouse gas emissions across the country. For more information about RECs and how they work, visit the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's Green Power Partnership at www.epa.gov/greenpower.
Hi there. I want to take you on a journey through a community powered by SeeClickFix. Here, internal operations are streamlined with more intuitive, secure workflows and communications. Here, let me show you how it all works. SeeClickFix organizes, tracks, and manages service requests from everyday citizens through a single application. When they see a problem, a few clicks is all it takes to send off a service request. From there, the right people get the request and get to work. All communication and task management is seamlessly coordinated through the app. Citizens can see the work being done and even receive a follow-up message when the work is completed. It's a team effort all around, and you have the data you need to make better decisions. Cities large and small use SeeClickFix to accomplish more for their citizens with the staff, time, and budget they've already got. Get started today.
SeeClickFix is a tool to report non-emergency issues to City Hall, built to be easy to use for anyone on the go. When you see an issue, take less than a minute to report on SeeClickFix. First, hold the app and press Report. Then, press the camera icon to take a picture or video from the app or your image gallery. After that, the app uses geolocation to capture your exact location, or you can manually choose your location or address using the Map tool. When you press Issue Title, you'll be able to choose from the request types that your local government provides. You'll finish up by including a brief description of the issue. such as where it is, what it looks like, and any other important information to help your local government fix the issue. Then, press Done, and then Submit, and you're ready to go. See, Click, Fix, a simple and valuable way to help you build a stronger community.
Hello and welcome back to Spotlight on Bensenville. My name is Frank DeSimone, Village President and your host for this episode. Today we're discussing the municipal electric aggregation with our guest, Sharon Derling, Director of Marketing for Northern Illinois Municipal Electric Collaborative. Welcome back.
Thank you, Mayor.
So right back into it, will I save money on my bill? If not, why would I switch suppliers?
Well, you'll not save money, but there's zero risk. You pay exactly the ComEd rate. Why do it? Folks will receive 100% green renewable energy credit. The village remains an EPA Green Power Partner, a rather prestigious designation. And then also, when the ComEd rate goes down, we're expected to decline next year in 2022, residents' rates will also go down. They won't be locked ever into a rate higher than ComEd.
Kind of answer my next question, but tell us, what is the ComEd rate? And I know I was going to ask you if it's going to go up. You just told me it's going to go down. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, currently it's been set at an annualized 7.127 cents per kilowatt hour, and that's from today through May of next year. Certain components we know are going to put downward pressure on that. So I don't have a crystal ball, Mayor, but we do think it will soften and not rise. Within that 7.127, there's a monthly variable. So you'll never see that exactly on your monthly ComEd bill, whether you're served by ComEd or Elego Energy, the new supplier. This has always been the case. There's this floating component called purchased electricity adjustment. You'll see it on your bill and it can change it, but it's going to stay within that pretty tight range of 7.127.
So who is Elego Energy and why did they receive the village contract for the aggregation instead of, I think, last year's MC Squared company?
That's correct. Well, out of due diligence, of course, you and overseeing the board always undertake due diligence. So on your behalf, we sought competitive bid offers, and Elego seemed to have a much more competitive offer in terms of the green and eligibility for civic contribution. And they are located here in Chicago Loop, so they're headquartered locally.
Has the village participated in a program like this before, and what were the benefits for our residents?
Initially, it was gangbusters in 2012 when the village set up its first program. The ComEd rate was extraordinarily high, much higher than it is today. And the average ratepayer saved over $400. That's on their own personal home budgeting ComEd bill over the course of several years. So those savings are no longer achievable. But as I just responded to your last question, out of due diligence, we always check the market. We couldn't find savings. So this program was the best benefit that we could find.
We've seen news stories about scams. How can residents be sure to avoid being exposed to a scam?
Scams. Oh, where do we start? One thing I would say, don't give your ComEd account number to anyone who calls or knocks on your door. If someone knocks on your door, don't let them look at your ComEd bill. Almost akin to your social security number, just keep that private. And that's part of why the village manages a program. Folks can say, hey, I'm with the village, and be sure that no one from Village Hall, no one from Elego Energy or ComEd, or even me will be calling your home saying, oh, I represent the program, sign up with me. So no one's going to reach out to you other than the notice, the official legal notice that was mailed to you from the village.
If somebody has concerns or questions, who should they contact?
Well, there's Elego. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I'm going to read off the phone number, but it's also going to be available, I'm sure, on your village website. And the notice is that all residents in small village businesses receive. So that number is 630-574-5741. Again, 630-574-5741. Or they can email, it's Bensenville optout@elegoenergy.com. And that's pretty easily findable. They have a website dedicated to the village.
And if the residents want to opt out, what should they do?
Easy, just follow the instructions on the notice they receive. And some folks, if they don't want to participate, they don't even need to opt out because they're going to remain at ComEd anyway. So I'd say read your own notice, not your neighbors. And it's easy. There's a prepaid postcard to drop in the mail. You can email, you can call. So we try to make it easy to opt out. And then you're done. One thing.
So what happens in an event of a power outage? Who do we call for that?
Always call ComEd, because as we referenced earlier, ComEd is required actually by law to continue to deliver to your home. So when a tree hits the wire on your block, you don't call Eligo Energy, you always call ComEd. And yeah, it's the responsibility. They'll come take care of you. Of course, if a tree's down for a while, you know, sometimes there's a little time, but that's what they do, and that's whom you should call.
Thank you for answering all our questions. Thank you for giving our residents the information they need on this. Again, we'll have all the stuff up here on our show and on our website. Thanks for joining the show. We'll look forward to seeing it next year, saving us some more money. And thank you so much for joining us this week, and be sure to tune in next week for Spotlight on Bensenville.